Take control of your finances. Gain insights from top industry professionals. Financial topics that matter to you from your go-to resource. This is Right on the Money with your host, Dennis Mattern.
Hey, hello, and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that features financial advisors, insurance professionals, and fiduciaries who discuss financial topics that empower you to take control of your finances. I'm your host, Dennis Mattern. Today, I am joined by Dan Cronin, founder of Lifestyle Wealth Management. Dan, welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, Dennis.
It is always great to have you here. We were hanging out last night, got to spend some time together. But we're going to dive right in, and we're going to talk about your expertise, your area of specialization, and oddly enough, it happens to be with the largest employer, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, and growing.
And growing in the United States, and that's the federal government. And correct me here, the retirement program that federal employees have is called FERS.
FERS, yep.
All right, can you give us a quick overview of FERS and how it differs from what those of us that are not federal employees do?
Sure. So FERS is the Federal Employee Retirement System, and there's actually two. So there's the new FERS, the current retirement system, and then there's old school dinosaurs, we call them, CSRS, Civil Service Retirement System.
And we were talking off camera, there really aren't many of those out there anymore.
No, there's fewer and fewer by the year.
Bet. So tell us a little bit, what are some of the key components of FERS?
Yep, so it's really about like pillars of benefits. So they have a pension, survivor benefit for spouses, they have special retirement supplements, investments like a 401k, they call it a TSP, and technically it's a 457 plan, so there's lots of fine print and minutia details there, but they have life insurance, health insurance, long-term care, and Social Security.
Now those, and Social Security?
Yeah.
Wow, so there it sounds to me like if you're a federal employee and you're headed towards retirement, there's a lot of moving parts here.
There's a lot of moving parts.
So talk to me a little bit about, tell us a little bit in your experience, maybe some of those common misconceptions that federal employees have about their own program, because I know as a member of the public, I barely understand what I have available to me.
Yeah, there's lots of options, and they're always on the chopping block in Washington, D.C., right? So I think the FERS system is so robust because a lot of our politicians are also federal employees. So a lot of the perks that they want are kept.
Well, how does that integrate then? You mentioned Social Security a second ago, which we all have access to. Or
same program.
So how does that integrate with FERS though?
Yep. So it's very similar. It's not different program. It's just the same that we all have. Yep. It's just an added benefit that they have to navigate.
So another layer of complexity as a federal employee is making their plan. So how important is it for federal employees to start planning their retirement? When should they start thinking about this?
As soon as they start federal service, because there's benefits that you can keep that are really advantageous in the beginning of your career, like the life insurance, like FEGLI. And FEGLI is the Federal Employee Group Life Insurance. So it's made for everybody, not necessarily made for one specific Fed. So over time, it gets more and more expensive. And then in retirement, it just usually, our average is like 7.5x and all that changed as you retired. So they dropped the subsidy and then increased it every 5 years on you. So that's like one of those benefits that if you know you're not going to keep, why wouldn't you replace it earlier in your career? But so few people know that that's an option.
You know, there's so much complexity here, even with what you just said about FEGLI, and even the word FEGLI, right?
Yeah.
There's so much complexity that if I'm a federal employee, it is becoming very clear to me that I need to work with somebody who is an expert on this, not maybe somebody who's a financial advisor, tourist, if you will.
Sure.
How did you get into this?
Yeah, so a good friend of mine introduced me to the FERS and federal retirement maze, if you will. And he's like, these guys need so much help. So it was honestly as simple as that. He's like, these people need a lot of help, and there's tons of feds in your area. You should tap into that market and see if you like it. It's complex.
Yeah.
And it was a hockey stick of a learning curve, but now it's just first language.
Second nature,
first language, and we just dive in and really help people navigate the complexity. And we do a lot of myth busting as well. Like, this is what you think federal benefits are, but this is what they actually are and what they look like in the future.
Number one myth that you run into?
That healthcare is like the FEHB, Federal Employee Health Benefit program, is actually cost effective. So one thing that a lot of feds like is that it's very subsidized to the tune of around 72% while you're working. And it's also subsidized in retirement. But it usually doesn't keep up with your COLAs that are added to your pension and Social Security. So the cost of FEHB is climbing faster than your guaranteed incomes. So it's this, upcoming cliff that a lot of people have to navigate. And a lot of feds, like over 85, 90, are paying out of pocket for the FEHB above their pension and Social Security. Oh my God. Because it's just not keeping up with the price.
You know what I love, you're right. This is a language too. It's not even a second language, it's a first language. So
full of acronyms.
So if you're out there, and we're gonna go to another segment here, we're gonna take a break. But the first thing that you should be thinking is like, hey, how do I connect with this guy? So Dan, what is the best way? We'll put your contact information up, but if I'm watching this, I'm a federal employee, and I'm thinking I need to talk to you, what's the best way to hit you on your website?
Website.
Phone? What do you prefer?
Call, text, email us. So we have a page dedicated on our website to feds, and it's called FERS.plus. So you can go to FERS.plus, and we're right there. We have workshops. We have clients all over the country that we serve, and we're predominantly virtual now. COVID was a big catalyst, so we do most of our meetings, even with our local clients, virtually.
So I don't have to fight traffic.
No traffic.
I love it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and I want to remind you, first off, you can always watch full episodes on our YouTube channel or at rightonthemoneyshow.com. Do us a favor and squeeze the like button, click subscribe so you don't miss a single show, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.